Only goal. Hi.
We're live. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
Wait a minute.
Hey, everybody.
Pete's not only ignoring us, he's invisible.
That's right.
Holy crap.
All of his experiments have finally paid off.
That's what,
Papa Pete is now Invisible Pete.
wonder if he does it like Bert. Just snaps his fingers a few times.
We got Lance Jennings here. Ursula Andress. I didn't realize she was still with us. There you go, 89.
Lance has got the info flowing already.
Yeah, we got Lance here. We got Pete. But Pete, wait, how are you in there, Pete?
Pete's in the chat and he's here.
We got Junebug. Pierre.
Oh, there he is.
Kurt.
Oh, Kurt.
I think that's everyone so far. All right.
Yeah.
And you're on your bad mic again.
Son of a.
Bad Mike. How's your buddy, Bad Mike?
There you go. Good mic time. Such a difference. Jeez.
Man, oh man.
So what's going on, everyone?
Kyle 11. I haven't seen Kyle in here in a long time.
Let's
Oh,
go,
wow.
Beard.
Wow. What's going on? Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, Bruce Willis, 70 years old. And Ursula Andress,
What
That's
is
89.
what does Bruce Willis have? Does he have dementia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, he's got that and something else too. It's
Oh,
where
it's
you
terrible.
don't shoot it, like he can't. It's hard for him to communicate because he can't remember how to communicate, and
Wow.
he does, when he talks, I guess he doesn't make any sense or whatever. There's a name for it, but yeah, he got double popped. So
Jeez. That's
Yeah,
awful.
that's the way my mom was.
hey, Lance.
Just all of a sudden kind of became nonsense, just nonsense time on the phone. I was talking to her, and then some sentences were just mumbly.
Frontotemporal dementia. Yeah.
It's rough.
Rerun was born on this day, 1951, here in St. Louis. How
Get
about
out
that?
of here.
Wow.
He's been gone for 22 years.
Or rerun.
What's happening?
You know, and you wouldn't have thought it when you seen him. He looked like a healthy guy.
He did.
Yeah. Oh, are you ready? Here we go. Lights on. Ah, that's too much.
So I want to show
Take it down a notch.
Oh, here we go. We were just talking beforehand. This is the last StreamYard show because StreamYard is going from $96 to over $400 this week. For me, anyway.
Wow.
Depends on when you signed up. So I thought it'd be a good time to show one of these clips right here.
Hey guys, I'm Papa Pete, and I've got some rather sad news that Coco and I have to share with you tonight. And that's that we found that these last few weeks, although it's been a lot of fun being on the gogamego show, whether it's on the show itself or being in the chat, that it's just simply too late out here in Papa Pete time for us to stay with the show. Don't you think, Coco? Because I'm getting very tired. I'm up till almost midnight my time sometimes, and the next day, Thursdays, I'm just too tired at work. So, unfortunately, starting tonight, I can no longer take part in the show or even be in the chat. But hello?
Pete, we've decided
What?
to keep Go Game Go down to 90 minutes from now on.
What?
90 minutes.
But that's not too late for me to stay up.
No more than 90
I had
minutes.
already accepted the fact that I could, stay away from the show. You're going to drag me back in? Damn you, Go Game Go.
The old ass gamer.
That was a classic right there.
Calories.
You just
Oh,
went
man.
let Pete go with you.
You just can't go anywhere.
Here you go. What's everyone been into and playing? Shoot. I've been playing some obscure games. I don't even know the name of it. Well, I was playing Juno First last night on the Switch. That game was a lot of fun. And it's an old arcade game I never even heard of until just recently. And I'm playing
games.
I'm playing some other game. It's got
Nice.
a rabbit. You're in a car, and you got to place arrows down. You got to get from one spot to another in a certain amount of moves. It's actually really fun.
You weren't drinking, were you?
No.
Okay.
As
And
I
then-
was typing that, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the other thing I've been playing a lot lately is Ball It Hell, which is it's a cheap indie game, but it is a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of fun.
Wow.
Go ahead, Pete.
I was going to say, Stuart, you put that first up. I was in the middle of typing that when Lance put in a couple comments and beat me to it as I was typing. That's why I said, "Hey, curses, foiled
No.
again."
Hey.
I've been
Oh,
playing
look at that.
Avenue Redux.
Uh-huh.
Autograph.
Ooh.
Is that
Nice.
the text one, Pete?
What's that?
Is that the text one? Text game I seen, or
Kind of. Yes, it was an MSX game, which I should have looked at that again. I knew that, and I didn't say it in the video, but it was an MSX game that just was made in Brazil, and it was kind of text based, and they had a lot of the graphics and stuff. It still is kind of text based with graphical interface and some neat sounds and music and stuff.
right?
It's pretty good. It's fun.
The interesting thing about this, an 83 First Lady Nancy Reagan made an appearance on the episode of Different Strokes beginning with Just Say No anti-drug campaign. That was right before I graduated high school.
Oh, cool.
She played the bicycle man, Gordon Jump's wife on the show. Huh.
Lance
Ah.
corrected me on that.
Oh, Bicycle Man was a creepy character. 2016, Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, directed by Zack Snyder, and way too much slow motion.
Wait, you talking about
And
Gordon
sorry.
Jump like Different Strokes? Yeah, that was a creepy. Nobody wants to hear that.
Do you remember that now?
Years in Mexico City.
I don't think I saw it. I think I didn't watch much of.
It was
Different
a pretty
Strokes.
controversial episode. Gordon Jump played the bicycle man. It's like Arthur Carlson. Yeah.
This day in 81, NHL's Buffalo Sabres beat Toronto Maple Leafs 14-4. 14!
That's pretty wild stat right there, Lance.
That
Where the
is-
place did you see that?
In 56
Oh.
of the state, the Lakers beat the Hawks. Minneapolis versus St. Louis. That's a long time ago.
Wow, man.
Oh,
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, I think Jeff, you know what I've been playing. I told you I was playing that Horizons Forbidden West, the one that I've got.
Oh yeah, that's when you're like
Numerous hours
5
in it.
hours into it.
Yeah, now I'm like at 28%, and I'm
Oh my
at
God.
I think it's 50 some, almost like 59 hours or something like that. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, we saw that one. Yep, you saw that one. And playing. You know, my nephew got a hold of me today, and he just finished Uncharted 1. We both were talking about going back through Uncharted games, and I was like, he said, well, since we can't play online anymore the way we used to like to on the PS3, he says, maybe we can just play the games together and be on a phone call together. And I'm like, well, that'd be cool. Next thing I know, he's like, I made it through the first one. I'm like, well, wait. Okay. Like, dang it.
Oh wow, the 90-91 season. That was a great season for the Blues. I mean, Hull, I believe he got to 50 goals in like 48 games, something crazy.
Wow.
But yeah,
That's
80
when
goals.
You is on.
He was so good.
Ooh, a little bit of what you fancy. Wow. Huh.
So is everyone recovered from Lance Jennings Appreciation Day yesterday?
Ah, that was a blast.
That was a lot of fun.
that was great.
Yeah, I was rewatching it just to see that intro again.
Salvatore, you played Uncharted for 3 hours and you're done. Oh, Uncharted is so good, Salvatore. You can't quit now.
The unboxing has happened.
There it is.
Yeah, Slappy outdone himself on that intro.
Man, you ain't kidding. Oh,
I think that artwork. I think it's the best thing he's ever done.
I'm jealous.
I mean, he's done some good
What?
stuff, man, but that is That's about as good as it gets.
That's
Well,
bitching.
between
man.
Lance singing the song and then
Oh.
the look on you, it's priceless.
Yeah.
'Cause I've never seen Jeff so excited.
I was very excited.
I put in 3 hours of Uncharted. Think I'm done? Ah, Savitor. Don't be a weenie. Wendy's overtakes Burger King to become the second best-selling hamburger chain. What it is now, I wonder.
with the Baconator.
I was
I
gonna
know
say, is
how
that
to-
when the Baconator came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it pushed
I
them
know how
over
to
the edge.
salvage a question or what?
Yeah.
It's so
Wendy's had a
interesting
whole
that, oh, what was that noise? It's so interesting that
Stu got lost.
Dave Thomas, who started Wendy's, was like
Yeah.
a huge influence on KFC.
Really?
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he worked there. He was like in charge of, I think pretty much the operation.
That's
And
right.
I think he came up with the whole bucket and the design and everything.
Yeah.
So he's, I guess he might be the greatest fast food guy of all time.
I didn't know he had anything to do with KFC.
Well, I learned that during Food That Built America on History Channel. So others like do hours of that, and I watch it every time. It's just so interesting.
I'm telling you, it looks like you two could be brothers.
We're all brothers, man. We're all brothers.
So, all right. So, okay. So wait a minute. It overtook Burger King. So what's the listing now? Do you think?
Jeez, I have no idea.
McDonald's is still number one,
By far, I think.
Yeah, I would assume so.
and I would venture to guess. I don't know where Chick-fil-A is. I mean, even though they're not burgers, but
Top fast food burger chains. Let's see. It's got ranked. Here it is. Oh, you gotta be bloody kidding me. All right, so
JWD.
McDonald's. It's still the same. McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Sonic, Jack in the Box, Whataburger, Culver's, Five Guys, Hardee's, and Carl's Jr. at 9 and 10.
man, I love
In-N-Out.
Five Guys.
I mean, you would think In-N-Out is the way it is because of how many there are, right?
In-N-Out sucks. I don't understand everybody's fascination.
That's how you're doing it.
I don't understand it either. I've been to two different places, two different cities, and
I
both
agree, Mike.
times the French fries were like cardboard. There was no flavor.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was okay
Shocking.
for the burgers, but it wasn't anything amazing.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
burgers are okay.
yeah, I honestly
rather
would
go
have
to-
rather go to Jack in the Box,
I'd rather go to Culver's or
Culver's,
Yeah,
Um,
Culver's is good.
shoot, what's
Butterburger.
that other one? Freddy's. Oh,
Yeah,
Freddy's.
Freddy's.
Yeah, Freddy's is good.
Just those are expensive. So yes, Mike, you are right. We did. I wasn't here when it happened. Jeff was here, but I was just talking to my neighbor, and we're so fortunate that we live right by the Creve Coeur Park because there's this hill and so what the tornado did was it ripped through the park, tore up the soccer field area, and then whoop, kind of did a ramp and then went over our houses. People who were hiding in their homes downstairs, their ears popped in our neighborhood right here.
Wow.
And then it touched back down on the other side of just on the other side of us. So we were very fortunate. So yeah, we had multiple ones. I think, what was it, Jeff, 6 or something like that?
Something like that. I don't even know. It was
Yeah.
it was crazy.
The Wonder Twins were basically, you would totally think so, JW. That is absolutely for sure.
Looks like Lance likes In-N-Out.
Five
I love
Guys.
Five Guys,
food,
but it's
man.
wicked expensive. Yeah.
I love Five Guys.
Oh yeah,
I like at the end where they
it's
just,
not something you eat every day, but man, Five
Yeah.
Guys is just a good burger.
Yep.
And their fries, they give you tons of them, and they're great too. So
Oh, yeah,
I love how
they're
they
really good.
give you a bag of fries and then they just dump a
Yeah.
scoop of fries in the bag.
There's Lance.
There's Lance.
Lance.
That's I was going to tell Lance he should try. Was that Shake Shack? I've had that. That's actually I think better than In-N-Out too, and that's expensive.
In 94.
It's good. And it's even more expensive than Five Guys.
160,000 eggs. You wouldn't want to do that today. It'd be expensive. Although the prices are coming down, I hear. We paid. There were some folks. It was at a farm, a farmer's market, and they had eggs for $9 a dozen, and then somebody outside had them for $7. So I was like, well, we weren't going to get any. My wife's like,
Don't be a hater, Lance.
We'll just get them late. They got some already, and then I told them they were $7, and they're like, go get them. I'm like, oh, okay. In-N-Out rocks. The fries are shaky. You have to get them well done. Now,
fries are shaky. The shakes are fried.
Well, how I like their fries is I think it was Gordon Ramsay had said that you get them the animal style, and so I got that, and it's actually makes the fries decent when you get the animal style on it. They just with the stuff they pile on it, but it's it's because it's like Five Guys too. I mean, the burger at Five Guys is, if you talk to everybody, it's different because everybody, there's so many toppings. Everybody likes different toppings on the burger, and that's what makes it a delicious burger. So but yet I guess In-N-Out's the same. Now, like I said, now the hamburgers, I've tried the animal style. It's still, to me, I mean, they're hamburgers. Like I said, they're not bad. They're just not as what everybody makes it out to be.
Now wait a minute. You're talking about. I do have to. I'll get back to this Taco John's thing in a minute. But so, what are you saying? What style?
The animal style is one of the stuff. There's I don't know. I can't remember if it's on the menu. I just said animal style because Gordon said it and they knew what I was talking about. But,
okay.
So it's like, there's, the different there. I guess they have different topping options or whatever that you can get.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like, what's that? Waffle House. When you get the waffle, the home fries you can, smash, smothered, and this and that. I'm not sure if it's done like that or whatever, but people have these different, things they like on their In-N-Outs and makes it good to them or whatever. So
I still don't understand why Chick-fil-A doesn't make 2 small waffles and put a chicken piece in the middle for breakfast.
Yeah, really?
Because they don't copy anybody. They do their own thing.
Well, but nobody else is doing that.
Mr. Hero's doing it.
I have never heard of that.
Yeah, Mr. Hero's, I forget what it's called, but they got these couple burgers, but they have it in between 2 waffles. And it's actually a Nashville hot chicken sandwich in between the 2 waffles. So
Taco John's.
I got that the other day.
Okay. So it's been recent.
Whenever I have a cheat day, I pick a different place.
Taco John, that holds a special place. We had 2 of those in my hometown area, and we went to one that was in Creve Coeur, oddly enough, Creve Coeur, and my buddy ordered 2. We were out partying, and we go in, and we're feeling good, and he orders 2 burritos. They said, well, we have a buy one, get one free. And he goes, okay. And they're like, do you just want to order 1 and get 2? Or do you want to order the 2 and get 4? And he goes, I'll take the 4. Ate every one of them in my back seat. Didn't gain an ounce. Twit. And then years later, I had an interview set up with Cinderella, and we went to Taco John's. And there was a commercial talking about Bullet Boys and Winger, or Bullet Boys were going to do an autograph signing at, that's where I heard it was at Taco John's. And I'm like, it's a co-op. I know that place. So thanks to Taco John's for those 2 moments in my life. So Shake Shack
got whacked with a tornado.
Is average. Oh, it's snowing there in KC, huh?
I don't think we're supposed to get any snow here, though.
We got some in Chicago the other day. Yeah. Sometimes the fries are undercooked and limp. That's what happened to us at Hardee's the other day. And I'm like, I'll never eat there again. The burger wasn't very hot, and the fries were limp. Ugh.
That's probably a good thing with the free peanuts at Five Guys.
Five Guys works because you can pack a ton of
Yeah.
free peanuts. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I got $50 worth of peanuts with a $10 meal.
And Arch
Oh, no,
Deluxe at McDonald's here is $10. That's terrible, Kurt. Sorry to hear that.
Tornado
Oh,
came
that's
through my
awful.
hometown
What is
Friday
it?
night and destroyed my aunt and
Oh,
uncle.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Did you
Yeah.
guys, did any of you guys ever have a ground round next around you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were here, right, Jeff?
There's one in Bangor.
Yeah.
I've been to.
They were in St. Louis
Yeah,
for a while.
Well, I think I might have told you, Jeff, that there was one around. It was in Perrysburg, Ohio, and I just seen that they're actually going to change their name to something else, and I guess change their style. So the last ground round that I knew of, and I don't even, the thing is I hadn't ate there, so who knows if it, because people were like, oh, we got to go there, and I'm like, who the hell remembers what ground round tasted like? I don't,
I
I mean,
remember the peanuts and the shells on the floor.
that was the big thing was they used to show Laura and Hardy and eat peanuts, so
Steak and
other
Shake
than-
now cooks their
Before
fries. in
Texas
100%
Roadhouse started it.
flour.
Yeah.
And seed oiled.
100%
And most say
beef
they can
tallow.
taste the difference. I'm sure they can, Slappy. That's absolutely right. That is absolutely right. And as you can see, I've been slapped tonight. So,
Slappy was the real star of the show last night.
oof, man. Man, oh man. They are amazing. Do you guys like the little fries? What's your favorite kind of fry? Do you like crinkle cut, regular steak?
I like steak fries.
Do you?
Those are my favorite.
I like them made out of potatoes. So any
it's not
fries
bad.
made out of potatoes is one I like.
There's
As opposed to sheep fries, right? Out of Funny Farm.
Yeah, I don't want none of that cheap fries.
had a
Though
diner
he
with
seemed
a
to
car on
enjoy
the
them.
roof.
He was happy
Oh, yeah.
about them, but
I never seen anybody with such a delicate taste for testicles before.
that's a great movie too. I have to watch that again.
I agree.
You
I
know,
agree. I loved it.
Mike probably knows about the they're talking about the place with the car on the roof. Out in KC, they have a coffee place. Why can't I think of the name of it? And they have this cargo plane up on the roof that's mounted up there. It's a full-size cargo plane that's mounted up there. It's pretty cool. Why can't I think
Well, I
of
used
the
to. There was when I drove truck. There was places I used to go where you could follow the old what was that, Route 66 or was it?
Yeah, Route 66. Yeah.
Yeah, and so some parts of it when you go on, and I'm thinking it's down towards the southern part of America. But anyways, when you go on them, they try to duplicate the diners and stuff like that they had on the old Route 66. It was kind of cool. And then, they had like the little sideshow, stuff where, they had alligators and, lizards or, whatever. And one of my favorites, there's one in Kansas and I think there's one up in, is it Minnesota? But the tallest gopher, like they would keep advertising, world's biggest gopher, tallest gopher. It's made out of wood. You get up there and both of them are made out of wood, but they just keep saying the tallest. Yeah, they're the tallest wooden gophers or whatever. But and the first time I seen it, though, I kept telling because I was at that time I was teaming. I said, "Man, we got to stop and see that gopher. It's got to be something else there."
JWD, if there's ever a time in my life, and I doubt there ever will be, but if I was ever in Toledo, Ohio, you're damn right I'd be going to Tony Paco's.
Oh, Tony Paco's is fantastic.
So if you walk in there and you say, "Holy Toledo," do you get a break or anything like that?
No.
Pete,
Do you get kicked out?
You're not going to go to the Klinger statue? Wasn't
Oh,
he from
I would
Toledo?
definitely be going to the Klinger statue too. But you're right. Sorry, I have a cat to take care of it.
I almost said
That was
it.
kind of rude. That was kind of rude, Pete. You had her ass hanging, pointing to us.
I'm getting the
She's like-
stink eye here too.
We just saw the stink eye. And this day in 82, Porky's premiered. There you go. And there you
Man,
have
that
it.
movie-
Wholesome Canadian entertainment.
I remember this. I hadn't laughed as hard seeing Porky's from the, Animal House. First time I seen Animal House made me laugh. Just belly laughed, and then I seen Porky's, and it was just the same thing. That kind of same laugh. That the shower scene, and then when they were talking about Ball Breaker
Oh Jesus!
about her identifying body part.
Yeah, a few days ago, it was already late. It was like 10:30 or so, and I ran into Naked Gun on YouTube. And I was like, I gotta watch this. So I ended up watching the whole movie. It was,
Oh,
I was up late, but oh god, it was so funny.
You're
Yeah,
like,
they-
it's worth it.
Well, like you said too, Jeff, you brought up, it's weird how they had the TV show and they had them 6 seasons, and how they decided to go, hey, you know what? Why don't we try movies with it?
Yeah, it was 6 episodes. It completely bombed.
Yeah,
And so
6
they're like,
episodes.
All right, that bombed. So let's take the same premise and we'll make a movie of it. It's like, what? Why would you even think of that? But I'm glad they did, because it was hilarious. Just like Police.
Yeah, when
Squad.
Jeff said that, I was like, oh, I never thought about that. He's right.
Yeah, Slappy, I was so disappointed I didn't have it for yesterday.
It was supposed to have arrived too, right? Because you said that you found the track.
Yeah, at one point it said it was going to arrive yesterday, but then when I refreshed, it said, "Oh no, it made it to the post office today." You're like, bring out the police sketch artist to identify that tallywhacker.
Oh,
So now,
Saboteur.
fun fact from me: my daughter's freshman dorm room was the window between the words "animal" and "house" on the opening credits for the movie. Holy cow!
That's cool.
That's cool.
Dang. Was there a ladder outside of it?
Man, that was such a good movie.
Taurus, I just noticed your little subtitle thing here. Be Arthur's man toy.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, I was
man.
wondering how long it was going to take till somebody noticed it.
USA Network. They changed the tallywhacker to the tongue, a tongue with a hairy wart on it.
Oh,
Amongst all of the game titles that you guys purchase, how many of them do you actually finish or complete? I got to be honest. I'm
For
sitting
me, it's like
probably-
under 10. I don't finish a lot. I've never have.
same here.
Even when I was younger, I just never finished games that often.
Hell, I didn't even open most of them.
well, you know what? Usually ones I finish are the long ones.
Actually,
It went
back-
like
oh, that's cool.
Skyrim or Grand Theft Autos or
Yeah.
whatever. I finished them, but like the shorter ones, I don't, and I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, the long ones I could get into them and stay there for a long time, and then But
I mean, I
yeah,
finished.
give me the shorter ones.
I finished Breath of the Wild. That was a long game.
Yeah.
I put in
Yeah,
over
see that
100
one I
hours.
haven't.
I put in well over 100 hours. That's probably the longest I ever played a game. It was fascinating though.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. All right. So have there been any games that you tried to finish and it won't let you?
I finished
That one's-
the Abbott Redux. Yeah, Swords and Serpents.
Okay. What happened?
They ran out of memory, so they just didn't do an ending.
Oh,
You get down to the
Man.
bottom level and around with the big dragons and surrounded by all the walls, and
Yeah.
you can't do anything.
oh my God.
And if you were ticked off enough back at that time to write a magic, you would get a response back from the secretary in a magic who was sort of like in charge of answering all these mails. And they were always a little bit different, but I've heard of different letters online and I'm trying to think of what they say to them. They say, oh, there was something magical happened and the dragon was, they just write this tale and send the people these letters. And there's always like slightly different each one they sent. And there's a few of them kicking around, like the stories wrote there.
That's
But yeah.
hilarious.
You can't finish it. They ran out of memory and just didn't finish it.
Who done that
No
game?
way to beat the dragon, huh?
Who done that game?
Magic. I can't tell you right off who programmed it.
I'm the same way with that, Salvatore. I just played a little bit before I
Man, that would have pissed
started the
me
show.
off. I would have been angry.
Impossible Mission on 7800 has a glitch that keeps you from finishing the game. See?
What is an impossible mission, JW?
Ooh.
Yeah, so you can't blame him for
Clever
that.
name.
Yeah.
I actually finished. I beat what was it, Pokemon Let's Go on the Switch using this controller for the whole game.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I like the controller.
I tried to beat the NES Wolverine game, and I couldn't beat it. I made it all the way to Sabretooth. I beat the shit out of Sabretooth. Time after time after time, I got him hit. I'm like, when are you gonna die? And I'm done. And he would not die. Like,
You know what game I did finish? Oh, there's two of them. Superman and Adventure on the 2600.
well, see, I
Them
did.
two,
I finished
them
Adventure.
numerous times.
I finished Superman.
Yeah, I played Superman last week and finished it a couple times.
I finished Ballista Avenue Redux.
There you go. I finished Bionic Commando a
bigger
couple of
chore,
times
though.
on the 8-bit system. I finished Resident Evil 4 multiple times. And then I finished all the Uncharted games. But I'm looking. There's a lot of other ones. 78th birthday for Glenn Close. Fatal Attraction came out. Extramarital Affairs dropped worldwide. Got to the final boss on MDK2 for Dreamcast and never could beat him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Salvatore, I got the final boss in Final Fantasy X, and I just got frustrated. So I was right there at the end. I just gave it up. I was like,
Yeah.
I made it to the end. It's close enough.
I finished Halo on legendary difficulty multiple times. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yep. And there's those things, one of my favorite stories is when my daughter told me about the right hand of God, is what I call it, on Resident Evil 4, where you have to go in and you have to get a certain score on the Merc level of all 4 characters, and then you get the right hand of God.
Well, see, what you need to do is them remakes. They did that remake of the Resident Evil 2, and then you could pay an extra. I think it was like $2.99. Then you got this thing where you actually ended up with the rocket launcher with unlimited weapons. Man, I breezed through that game then. It was easy.
Yeah. 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 It was fun the first time, just to kill everything with that right hand of God. You just charge it up and it kills. I don't care what's on the screen. I don't care how many times you have to pop a boss to kill them. They just died. Well, all right. There was the one guy you fight in the barn, and you fight him as a man creature, and then all of a sudden he becomes this, like out of The Thing, where he's got these long arms and it's just his head, and it's disgusting.
Do you want to hear the story on Swords and Serpents for the Intellivision? I did find a little clip in here, just something to say.
Every day. So
the programmer was Brian Doherty. Okay, and you get down to the end, and there's a dragon that we've seen the dragon back in the day, because we got to that same point. We just didn't go to the extent that these kids did. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get inside with the dragon, there's a wall breaking spell, and you get in there and you can pick up 3 pieces of treasure. And what it uncovers is BPD, Brian P. Doherty, his initials. That's it. There's nothing else. You can't kill the dragon. So he says that it was in 1982, a few months after the game was released, he was awakened by a phone call in the middle of the night. 2 teenage boys were on the line. They've been playing Swords and Serpents for days and had worked their way repeatedly to the final level, but couldn't figure out how to defeat the dragon. Brian's name was listed in the instructions, because they always put programmers' names in the instructions, right?
Yeah.
So the frustrated duo called information from Mountain View, California, home of the Magic, and asked if there was a Brian P. Doherty listed. So information gave them his number. He called them. They called him right up in the middle of the night and begged him to tell them how to kill the dragon. So says sleepily, Brian confessed to them that there was no way to kill the dragon. He had run out of room in the cartridge, so there was no climactic battle, just uncovering the treasure of his initials. Brian says there was a few seconds of silence near the line. Then the teenagers let loose with a string of obscenities, calling it every name in the book, and then they hung up. And it says Brian now has an unlisted number.
I feel like that was kind of the end boss right there. They called the programmer themselves and cursed at him.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Nate, you don't piss off nerds. They'll come and they'll haunt you down.
No.
Yeah, it makes it worse. He's putting Easter eggs in the game where he didn't have enough memory to finish it.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Probably
yeah,
right down at the end.
that
That
would
was
have
all he
pissed
could
me
do.
off so bad.
Lance's dad got to the dragon.
Oh wow, yeah, it was my brother and I did it, and it was quite a challenge to do that. It was a real challenge to do that. It took a lot of friggin' work, and that sucks. I'll be quite honest, you know.
So when you finally stopped trying to beat the final boss, Pete, were you did you stop because you thought it was you just couldn't figure it out, or did you stop because you're like, hey, wait a minute, I don't think this does have an ending?
The expectation at that time was that we couldn't figure it out. I mean, there had to be an ending.
That's what most people would assume, I would think.
But there wasn't.
Yeah, because
we taught like, well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna get this spell, that spell, try this, try that, try, and it's like eventually it would take you a couple hours probably to get. I don't know how long it took, a while anyway. If you're lucky to get back to the dragon, it's like eventually it's just like, well, screw that.
there's many games that had anticlimactic endings, where you get a little bit mad about it, but geez, to have one where you just couldn't end it.
Yeah,
As I said, it just boils my blood thinking about it now. That pisses my 14-year-old self off. that went on.
Oh, would you like to hear one of the letters that were written?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
From
sure.
Magic. So this says, "Dear a Magic customer, congratulations, you succeeded where others have failed. By defying the sinister serpent and his evil henchmen, you have reclaimed the kingdom of the royal court. During your quest, you collected treasures, been trapped by a fool's folly, and battled phantom knights and deadly red sorcerers. Because you survived all the obstacles laid before you, Nilrem the wizard rewards you with the official Swords of Serpent poster. Display it with pride after the adventure you've been through. You deserve it. Magic, creators of Experts for Experts. Sincerely, Kathleen Booth, Consumer Affairs." And then P.S. To answer your question about the picture in the catalog, that picture is what was originally planned. However, due to limited memory in the game system, the game designer, Mr. Doherty, was unable to include it in the game. In fact, it was so limited that there was no way to even program a fight between the knight and the serpent, and that is why there is no way to kill the serpent.
So they sent him a poster?
So they sent him a poster.
You know, it would have been great if they just wouldn't have put the poster in there. They just said they sent a poster. Piss them off even more.
Yeah, there you go.
Where's my poster?
Oh my god.
What's the Coffee Boys here? What's going on, Brian?
Hey, Brian.
What is up?
But it is a fun game. It is a fun game to play.
So, Pete, out of all these homebrews where they remake stuff, why has that one never been remade and added an ending?
That's a pretty good question. I guess nobody's just tackled it.
It seems like the most obvious choice. I would think Intellivision fans would love to play a game where you finally get the ending.
No, I agree. I'll be quite honest. When you think about it, just thinking about general discussion, it's not a game you hear talked about like significantly, not compared to some other ones. So it actually is a great idea, and people do really like that game. But I think the ending sort of got people. People just don't think of it as fondly, so it's not played as much today. Look at all the games we play on stream. When do we ever play Swords and Serpent? I can think of once we did, Jeff.
I don't even remember playing it. I'm trying to think.
Yeah. I don't even remember seeing anybody play it.
I don't even know what it look. What's it look like? I don't even know.
It's an overhead view. It's like a knight, and the knight is like a circle with a thing in it. And it's got a glimmering sword that sticks out of it, and you're basically steering it around. And the wizard looks like a letter E or something like that, red, and you are aiming at like sort of the arms are pointed up, and it throws spells. It can shoot things, but you could play one player is the sorcerer. You can't play just as the wizard. You have to have 2 players to play as the wizard. So there's a lot of limitations to that game that I think people don't play it as much as they used to. But it is a great idea. And I'm sure a person like Michael Hayes could probably do something about that, Michael. And I'd be glad to show your work on the channel someday. He's not watching, but he'll watch the replay. Yeah.
I think whoever does that will be an Intellivision hero.
There you go.
Finally got to beat the game.
I remember discussing that one time in a stream somewhere, and it might have been with Mike. Overhead maze game, yeah. It's hard. It's a hard game too. It really is difficult.
J.W. Durbs are working with a guy from Marshfield, Missouri, and one from Hollister to grow their channels. I'm not familiar with either of those towns. I have no idea where those are. I gotta look them up. Let's see here. Hollister, Missouri. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, there's Lance.
Oh, it's by Branson. Okay. What was the other one? Marshfield? Marshfield.
Marshfield.
I should call it Marshmallow.
Marshmallow Fields forever.
All right, where's this at?
Marshmallow Fields forever.
It's in Webster County, Missouri. I've never even heard of that.
Huh.
Oh, okay. It looks like it's closer to Springfield.
Where the Simpsons live?
What's that?
Where the Simpsons live?
Yeah.
Springfield's the capital, isn't it?
Of what, Missouri?
Yeah.
No, Jefferson City.
Oh, Jefferson City. There you go.
That's right.
I think I've
Marshfield is
Springfield, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
This working your ass off to get to the dragon reminded me of a funny thing that happened in the car again on this road trip we just did, where I think I may have mentioned this before, but Christine had to do some work. So she had a hotspot going in the back seat, right?
Yeah.
So then I was concerned about the music because I like listening to music. Of course, I gotta drive the whole way. So I don't want to disturb her. So I start hitting the buttons and I'm going, okay, that button navigates to that button, to this button to get to the audio. Okay, that's that button. I hit like 10 different buttons to get to the audio, to fade it from the back to all the way to the front. And when I get to that, I do all those buttons to get to that point. And he goes, you'll have to stop and wait until you're not driving in order to change that. I'm like, you freaking kidding me? I just sat here and navigated everything, and all I want to go is boop, 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 boop. And then it's done. And you're telling me I took all this time driving, getting to this spot, and now I can't do it. You have to stop. I'm like, look, if I was going to die by now, I would have happened by now. I would, Too weird. Which day of 95, Michael Jordan rejoins the NBA Bulls after 17 months. Yeah. Baseball. Didn't work out. Pacers in Indianapolis.
You're rich when you just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to try baseball.
Let's just give that a shot.
Yeah. And somebody lets you.
And somebody lets you. Well, that'd be great. Yeah, so I watched the end of this Wolverine game. Evidently, I didn't go far enough. I kept hitting him, and he wasn't hitting me. But you're supposed to back him all the way off and then knock him down a cliff. That's how you win. You don't beat him. You don't claw him to death. You knock him off the edge of a hill. And that's it.
I just wonder if there's other games that were glitched on not being able to finish the games. I mean, I seem to remember one for the NES, but I can't remember the name of it. There seemed to be one that
there had to be a few.
Yeah,
since there's no way to update it, there had to be several, I would think.
Well, I'll tell you what, the game I've never beaten, and I don't know if one day I'll give it another shot because I still own it, is Maximum Carnage for the Super. I could not beat that game. That was brutal.
Is that was that the sequel to Smash TV? Overhead view,
Yeah.
like a game show for going to different rooms.
Yes, that was a great one. Yeah, I love that game. Oh, what are you talking about? Wait a minute.
That one you said that Maximum Carnage, is
Maximum
that the sequel
Carnage.
to that?
Yeah, it was a great game. It's got all kinds of different characters in it. It's got Cloak and Dagger make an appearance in it.
Okay.
Yeah, towards Maximum Carnage, it's like a superhero type thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a villain. It's
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't think I've ever played that.
No,
Well,
I think you're thinking of Smash TV.
yeah, I
That's
am
what he
thinking of
was
Smash
talking
TV,
about.
and there was a sequel or some
really?
one similar to that or something like
Oh.
that.
Huh.
So that's why I was thinking it.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Makes sense, but I don't remember it.
Geez, I wish I could remember. It was just recently that the sequel was made. Well, it not a sequel in the sense it was just somebody was made a Smash TV type game.
Yeah.
That was
I
a great
think it
game.
was John. I can't think of his last name. One guy that just came out with that video game with the blocks. The one that has like an extensive collection. John Hancock. Yeah. I think he had played it, or it was on his show, or it was on Metal Jesus or something
Silver
like
Surfer
that.
was the least fun game I ever beat. Maybe the hardest, but wasn't rewarding. Oh yeah, that was another. All those Marvel. Is that like an 8-bit Silver Surfer, right?
Yeah, NES, he says after.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Oh yeah, I see. Yeah,
Not a super long game, but difficult.
another one of those the LGN games. They were never, super bitching.
I don't know if that one was LJN or not, but geez, it might have been. I double check that.
I think it was. I think all those Marvel titles that came out, they had Punisher, Wolverine, Silver Surfer. I think all of those were. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the Marvel movies right now. They waste a lot of Marvel characters in these crappy movies. And you're like, okay, why did you do that?
That was the only number one comic I own is the Silver Surfer.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, my two biggest number ones was Terry Bradshaw's rookie year card and Silver Surfer.
So you have like the old Silver Surfer?
Yeah, it's first edition.
With the John Buscema artwork on the cover where he's.
I don't know the name of the. I was just a comic geek. I didn't. I just read the stuff. And I don't. I don't remember if I read that comic too much, or I just collected it because I liked Silver Surfer. Later and some of the with the Fantastic Four and stuff like that. But,
yeah.
It Arcadia made Silver Surfer for the NES.
Okay, so I'm wrong, huh?
Not all of them were LGN. LGN did a lot. But.
Yeah.
Did anyone watch the new Leave It to Beaver?
Extensive.
I actually watched this. I watched quite a few of those episodes.
You watched the new what?
The new Leave It to Beaver back in '83.
Okay. No.
What was that?
Big, they brought back almost all the characters, at least living ones. They all had kids. Like Beaver and Wally had kids. I think their mom was in it. Barbara Billingsley. I think she was in it.
Did she
They even
speak
had
jive?
she did,
Hmm.
and a lot of Wally's friends were in it. Like Lumpy was there. Eddie
Eddie.
Haskell was in it. That's pretty cool. They got them all back together.
I don't know that I I hope somebody chimes up and says yes.
Salvatore's been at John Hancock's place. Salvatore, did John Hancock know you were there?
And yes, Joe Satriani, Silver Surfer. I just bought that CD recently, JW. Another copy of it, because it's hard to find. It's hard to find it with Silver Surfer on it anymore. They've had to change it, so it's a guitar neck and head instead of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, Lance, Hugh Beaumont wasn't in that show. He had died, I think, quite a while before that show even came on. And I don't think Lumpy's dad was there either. I think he had died as well. Richard, what the hell was his name? Wow, can't think of it.
He did know I was there. Sold him a game.
Ah,
Well, that's was it the Brady Bunch too? Remember, they do a couple ones where they tried to bring them back.
yeah,
like
they definitely had some movies. I don't know. Did they have a TV show that came back? I can't remember.
I could swear they had a TV show too, but it was not very long. Yeah, sometimes it's just better to leave stuff go. Just don't even try to bring it back.
There's been a few like that. Like KRP came back. What's Happening came back like years later.
Did they
Wasn't
call
it What's Happening Now?
What's
Yep,
I
happening?
think it
What's
was
Happening Now.
Lumpy's dad died like the year after, maybe 84. TV said Lumpy's dad,
Whoop.
while married, led closeted life that stressed him out.
What the hell was his name? Wasn't it Richard something? Richard Deacon. That's it.
Damn.
Why do you live in a closet? You just got to come out.
He was a walk-in.
Let's see if I can do this.
Well, especially back in that time, man. You definitely didn't want to come out being gay.
I don't know if this is going to show up too well. Is that what the cover looks like of your Silver Surfer?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's worth.
Yeah, I have
some
that.
money.
I haven't seen that. It's over at my sister's. One of the things I did when I collected comics was I used to pick up ones that I thought was going to be something, and so it was just like I have when you find out that Superman telepathically tells people that he looks frailer as Clark Kent than Superman, so that's why. And then there was one where Lois became a robot, so that android, and her and Superman finally got married. And so stuff like that I would pick up. And so my sister has like a ton of these things that I picked up here and there.
Wow.
What's his name? Wolverine getting his antimon ripped off of him from Magneto.
Magneto.
But yeah, it was just like little things like that. It was just, I looked at them as like these were pivotal points, at least to me. And so I grabbed them, so. But Silver Surfer, I forget how I came across that. And I remember when I bought it, I remember Eerie and Creepy magazines, the black and white and spooky ones.
Yep.
I grabbed the first season of Eerie, the first season of Creepy, and I grabbed that Silver Surfer.
Nice.
And actually, I think I got Terry Bradshaw at that time too. So
there you go.
Yeah, old Terry.
Yeah, that's the Terry Bradshaw one, right?
Yeah. That Silver Surfer book that's going to be worth something, man.
Well, it was worth something like 10 years ago. I mean, it wasn't like big giant bucks, but because I had a neighbor. They owned her father owned the first edition of
That's back.
Superman. What was it, Action Comics or whatever?
Yeah. Right.
Hey,
And
back. Good to see you, man.
I was like, man, that thing was, you know, I haven't seen him for a long time, but I'm wondering if he cashed that in sooner or later because that thing was worth some bucks.
I bought the first 5 issues of Dakota North Comics. Yeah, that didn't prove to be profitable. Yeah, it's kind of amazing to me when I go to a comic shop or I'm at a Comic-Con and I see these. I just sit there and go, I have that one. I have that one. I got that one.
Yeah, that's Brian. I love Creepy. That was a great magazine.
Who is that?
Barry Sanders, right?
Barry Sanders.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
is that Barry Sanders? Ricky?
Yeah, rookie.
First issue
Hey,
of
remember this guy?
Gale
Yeah, Gale
Sayers.
Sayers.
Yeah. Before we were born.
Oh, Bart
Oh,
Starr.
Bart
I did a
Starr.
book report on him.
That's cool. And last but not least, of course, gotta have Mean Joe.
That's right. Mean Joe Green.
I hadn't looked at those in years.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. It's like going.
Barry
It's like when I.
Sanders, man, he was the man.
It's like when I
He's
finally bagged all my comics. You know.
Yeah, my 2 favorite running backs. I think my 2 favorite. I think they were the best. Were Sanders. I think he might be the best running back of all time, and Earl Campbell. I loved Earl Campbell.
Houston, right?
Yeah, that guy could. He was just enormous, but he was so fast. He could just plow over guys.
In them.
Well, look at O.J. Simpson. I mean, he not only was he a good running back, but man, he ran right out of that murder.
Audra Lindley.
Couldn't catch him.
Here you go. Here's a famous blue, Jeff. You know what his claim to fame is?
Joe Mueller.
Mullen.
Mullen.
I believe he's the highest scoring American ever. Is that right?
Yeah,
Most
he was
goals?
the first U.S. player to score 500 goals.
And he likes In-N-Out Burger.
And
Pete.
and the Blues got rid of him for because he wanted a little extra money. He was such a great player, and they just let him go. It was like,
Sent him to Calgary and they won a cup.
Yep.
I'll tell you how you impress me, Pete. If you pull out the Hanson brothers cards out of that, then
I don't have them.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, Brian F's here. I didn't even recognize. I didn't even see Brian coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
Brian,
he came in and said he had eerie, creepy number 1.
Yeah.
you like this guy though too, Jeff. Hard to focus.
Adam Oates, I can't tell.
Adam Oates rookie, yeah.
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 My favorite comment on the new Snow White movie. I'm rooting for the poison apple.
Little kid Brett Hall.
There you
Oh
go.
gosh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, that new Snow White, it's just
Well, you know what? Here's what I say about Snow White. It's not made for us.
Nah.
well,
It's made for little girls.
I get
That's
that.
all these people have been arguing because I don't have to see it because of my niece, but you know everybody's been arguing. My grandniece, but yeah, everybody's been saying stuff, and I'm like, it's not made for us. It's made for little girls. It's
Well,
it's,
I don't know about
I don't know why everybody's so bothered by it. It's like if you don't like it, go watch the cartoon version. It's still here. They didn't get rid of it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I think part of it just comes down to there are people that have to review it, and there are people who it's what they do, it's their business. That's what people look to them for. And then so when they see it, then they're just like, well, and you can't ignore the terrible press that happened early on with it. It's just there. If you're in that community, if you're in that thing, it's what they're doing. And also it comes down to the fact that if it doesn't do well, they just start throwing out nasty lines like you didn't see it because you don't like women. And you're like, I love women, and I can list you off a ton of female characters that I love and I think were kick ass, but they don't hear it.
Well, I'm still
Monday
gonna
night
see it.
miracle.
Me and
You
my
know what the
grannies.
Monday Night Miracle in St. Louis was? They were playing. Blues are playing Calgary. I think it was game
6. Doug Wickenheiser.
Yeah, Wickenheiser. It went into overtime, Well, but the great thing, the Blues were losing by like 3 goals late in the third period, and they just marched back, came back and tied it, and they went into overtime. And Wickenheiser finally scored the goal.
Wow.
And he was never a great player. I mean, I know he's drafted number 1 overall by your favorite, the Canadiens, but he was a legend here just for that one goal. That's all it takes.
And they come back. This is kind of funny. I've only been in Calgary once in my life, and I was in Calgary during that series. And Game 7 was in Calgary. There was a big, massive snowstorm. When they had it, then a Chinook went through and basically melted 3 feet of snow in like that the next day. And I didn't go to Game 7, but I waited outside in line outside the Saddle Dome for Game 1 against Montreal. And long story short, I showed up and I missed by 5 people.
Oh.
So I went home back to my aunt and uncle's house and went back out and stayed all late the next night. And I got tickets and went to see Game 2 in Calgary of the finals. That was that year, because I can remember those games going on. The Game 6 and 7 for St. Louis Calgary was a pretty big deal out there. And
I bet.
Do you remember a player, Greg Pazlowski, Pete?
I do know the name. Yeah. Do I know a lot of details? No, not at all. But the name sounds familiar.
He was one of my favorite players. He was not a top player, but man, the guy, he came up big in the best spots ever.
Yeah.
And in that Monday Night Miracle game, he actually had a great goal where they were in the Flames and a defenseman was bringing the puck out, and Pazlowski was behind him, and he just took his stick and in one motion swept the puck right towards the goal and scored all in one motion. I've never seen that before in my life. It was just crazy. He stole the puck and scored all at once. And that really got it going. You know who was in St. Louis at that game? Brett Hull.
Brett Hull, as a kid, because he played for Calgary. He was sitting he was probably not dressed.
He had just, I don't even think he was with them yet. They had signed him. It may have been like a draft pick or something, and then he was signed. I don't think he had never played for them, I don't think.
I think he might have been playing for the Moncton Golden Flames at that time.
Yeah, I think that. He was part of their organization, but I guess he was a high draft pick, and as a little perk, they brought him with them. But I was like, God, how weird that, the guy who goes down as like the greatest Blue ever was there that night.
Yeah. Well, St. Louis or Calgary might have gotten Joe Mullen from, but the other end of that trade was Brett Hull. Right? That was all part of that trade.
Was he part of that trade?
I am very surprised if he was. I'm quite sure he was. I'll double check that here in a second.
Who do we send? We sent Rob Ramage, I believe.
Rob Ramage. And that was like it was the pickup that won him the cup because Joe Mullen was that good.
Is he related to Dick? We worked with a guy named Dick Ramage.
Oh yeah,
Dick Ramage.
Dick Ramage.
Oh, boy.
I like
it. Hold it. Let's
put
a tee here. I'm going to set it on the tee. You put it on the tee, and we'll hit it away. Hey, never heard of Dick Ramage? Oh my God!
I just got a kick out of Jeff's just remembering that Dick Ramage.
It was Walmsley, Ramage, Rob Ramage, and another player for Brett Hull.
Oh, okay.
Oh, geez.
And the funny thing was, it was not a popular trade here when it happened because Ramage was very popular. He was a really good defenseman. Yep. Walmsley was a good goalie. And who was the other guy? I traded someone else, I think a prospect. So it was not a popular trade at all. But then, Blues got the best of that one by far.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mullen was several years earlier, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know. It was that far? Gee, I thought they were the same one. Obviously they were.
Wasn't Mullen? I think Mullen's like in the 70s and 80s. I don't know.
Oh no, it was 89 because he was one of the main guys when they won the cup.
Does anybody know who that is right there?
Dick Ramage's sister?
I'm gonna have to go with a solid no on that.
Here you go, Pete. Blues traded on 1986. They traded Joe Mullen, Terry Johnson, and Rick Wilson
Okay.
to Calgary for Eddie Beers, Charlie Bourgeois, and Gino Cavallini.
There you go. That is Audra Lindley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mrs.
That's Mrs. Roper.
Mrs. Roper.
Still not as hot as B. Arthur, but she's all right.
Nobody is.
No.
Like, there's certain things you just don't compare, right?
Right. Yeah, they broke the mold with B. Arthur.
Wait a minute. Were those all supposed to be Audra Lindley?
Yeah.
Only that middle one was. I don't know who those other women are.
That's what it said on the thing.
There's no way. I mean, just look at their face. They don't even match up.
Oh, well, that's what I thought, but you know.
But that one where she's kneeling, that's definitely Mrs. Roper.
Yep.
I've seen this before. I don't know why, but there's like a bunch of fake, not fake, but they're real photos, but they're attributed to Audra Lindley when she was very young, but they're not really her. I don't know why. I guess you'll find that interesting.
Yeah, that is
Oh,
weird.
geez, they do that all the time anymore.
But this one's her. I mean, you can see the face. Just age her 40 years. That's her.
Yep, absolutely.
Can't skip a point.
Are you talking about for looks or in a fight?
Yeah. If it's look, it's B. Arthur all day.
Flip a coin, Pete.
Oh, $11? Yeah. I mean, I never got into Brownsville Station much more than just the two songs, really. I mean, I'm sure I've heard something else, but they have a lot of those cool box sets out there. I got Little Box of Snakes. Norman Fell looked like Fabio in the late 50s.
Fabio on the cover of a Harlequin Romance, or Fabio after riding the roller coaster and taking the seagull in the face.
Oh man,
Poor Fabio.
Yeah, no doubt. Yikes.
Hey,
If
Torch, are you getting Xenoblade X, the remaster?
I was thinking of it, but I've been in that damn Horizon so much that I hadn't even really thought about anything besides that. But I'm getting to the I finished the main quest, but it's even like at the 20-some%, but there's still that means all the side crap, and there's an extra add-on in that, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna worry about all. I think the main quest should be good enough, so I'll probably get around because I enjoyed that on the Wii U, so and I didn't finish it on the Wii U either. So
comes out tomorrow, I believe.
Is it? Yeah, is it tomorrow? Yeah, there's a couple. I mean, upcoming ones that I want to. When we were going over them, and that one was the one with the rabbit. With the mech, I'm interested in that one.
Killed a whale.
Oh yeah. We showed that a couple weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we came across some good ones in there that they. I mean, the regular Switch has still got some life in there. I mean, there's going to be some good games released still.
By the way, the Switch 2, the big announcement is 2 weeks from today.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
Yep.
That morning.
Hopefully they'll release all of it, not try to hold anything back. Just spill the beans.
I want to know it all.
Huh. The complete Big Tree recordings for $12. Huh.
Well, I didn't know he was in the original Ocean 11. Norman Fell.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I guess I've been so wrapped up in the newer versions that I kind of forgot about the older one.
Mm-hmm. Wow, man, something is going on with the internet tonight. Will Switch 2 play games from the original Switch?
Yes.
Supposedly.
It will. They said it'll do all games except for a handful. You can figure those out probably like what was that exercise game with the wheel with a circle?
Yeah.
Just because the circle thing, whatever it is, it doesn't fit. The new Joy-Cons would not fit in there.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, you could still use the old Joy-Cons. I bet for that. I don't know why not. Yeah, Labo. None of those Joy-Cons are going to fit either.
Well, I keep wondering how they're going to handle, because it's got to be when they bring these games out, there has to be them bringing out for the main Switch, the original, and then the game's enhanced if you play them on the Switch too, because how else would you do it? You wouldn't want to put a lot of money in some of these ones if you didn't have the install base of the regular Switch is huge, and that's where you're going to make most of your money at. So I would think they'd have to kind of have the enhanced version on the same card, I would think, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a programmer, so I don't know how that works, but
you could be, Torso.
You could be.
Yeah, that would work out real good.
Just start writing some games and make them into Atari 2600 homebrews.
Yeah,
well,
like
the only thing that's going to happen is it's all going to end up being B. Arthur in every one of them. I'll try to get away from it, but it'll just keep coming back up.
like a bad lunch. Brownsville Station was formed in Ann Arbor, Michigan in '69. So there.
What are you doing there, Pete?
Boxing up a couple games. The ones I got from my pickup the other day, I hadn't put them in cases, so I wanted to. I've got some other ones I want to put in cases too, actually.
See, now
you get the ROMs too, don't you?
I do not for Ballista.
Okay.
And actually, the cartridge for Ballista is still in my machine, so I didn't even. I'll probably leave it right in the machine in case I got to do some more. I'm working on my setup, my hookups with that. So, go to get a new. What am I thinking about? What is NTink? What's it called?
RetroTink.
RetroTink. Yeah, I might have to try to find a RetroTink.
Oh, RetroTinks are good if you can get it. Yeah.
Now you can patch RCA into those, right?
Yep. Depends on what you get. You can get some that do a lot.
Basically, I've explained. I talked to you guys a little bit about this last night. Just I'm having some issues just with losing quality in my connections.
Oh, did you ever figure that out, Pete?
Not really, but I figured it out enough to this point. First of all, I learned something about the system that I didn't know that will be on the Intellivision Collector website. There'll be an instruction page on there when he gets going. But there's actually a switch underneath that changes it from the original RF connector to the RCA, which is really, really good to have. So that helped. But the other thing is just that I'm using this super cheap Amazon HDMI to RCA adapter, and that's causing me problems, right? So I'm thinking if I get a RetroTink, it will be a lot higher quality with the conversion. Does that make sense to you, Jeff?
Yeah, probably will work. I use a RetroTink for my Intellivision.
You use a RetroTink to hook your RCA modded to
I hook into the RetroTink and then run an HDMI out of that into the Elgato.
See, and now that's the difference. See, is I'm doing the same thing. I'm using this cheap one from Amazon, and the quality's crappy. I'm getting shadowing and stuff, and that's undoubtedly it. I mean, everything's loose about it. $15. So I'm gonna get a RetroTink, I think.
Well, you know what I'm waiting on, Pete, is Eduardo to get that Super Game Module 2 out with the HDMI hookup on it for that.
Coming. I've been talking to him a lot over the last 2 weeks, quite often. So
that's a game changer.
Yeah.
That's
he's working on it. There are things being worked on, Torso. So it's definitely.
I've seen a couple like teaser videos. I mean, so I seen that he had it running, and he done a nice job with the Super Game Module. So I mean, that, because I seen somebody griping about them the other day, and it's like, yeah, sometimes the things get delayed and it's slow on certain things, but it's just him and his wife, and and he
That's
has
right.
quite a bit of orders, just from the ColecoVision part of it.
Yeah.
It's
100%. I'm not.
I've seen that. I think he had over 1,000 or something of the season boxes, and that's the more expensive option, because you get the 2 or 3 games free with it or whatever, well, included on the money.
Right.
But I mean, that's over 1,000 for a retro is pretty good. I mean, that's an amazing amount. So,
Well,
I don't know what he.
He is straight out. That is for sure.
Yeah, he. Like I said, he releases a quality product. I mean, there ain't no doubt. The boxes are really nice.
Yeah,
and I know his wife has a lot to do with that. I think she handles a lot of the box part.
she's the designer.
Yeah. So them boxes are second to none. They're beautiful.
Yeah. Ed is such a nice guy. Like,
he like I said, I've been happy to be buying from them. It's like I have season 2. I was late into season 2. For some reason, I ordered season 3 before season 2. So I have season 2 coming, season 3 coming of the ColecoVision. And then I've got Popeye for the 7800 coming. Because I don't know if you've seen his 7800 Popeye, but
I did.
Yeah.
That's coming very soon too. They're soon. But like, he's been dealing with all kinds of things as well. Like, he's been dealing with a lot, and this is his business. So I mean, like, he's very serious, and he wants to give everybody the absolute best products he could possibly give them. He's got very high standards. He's not going to put out a imperfect product. It's going to meet his standards, and his standards are going to satisfy his customers, as they always have. So people know what to expect, right?
Oh yeah. So, I mean, I'm a
the nature of the beast is delays, right? The nature of the beast is delays, because it's difficult. I don't know. I don't think it was marketed by Telegames here. You mean Telegames here as in Sears, or just the other Telegames? Like, because there's other Telegames that are European. I think it was just the Coleco Gemini here as well. I don't know who marketed. I really don't. They're kicking around. They're kicking around New Brunswick, because every once in a while you'll see one available for sale, which I've never picked up, but I've had there's been 2 or 3 times I've gone, shit, I wish I had to get that, and I've missed it on Facebook and stuff, but not been lucky enough to get it. But I'd love to have one. The Gemini, guys, is just the Atari 2600, only it's a Coleco product, right?
Torso, you said you didn't realize that Roper was in Ocean's 11?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know he was in Bullet?
No.
That looks like Robert Ron's body, though.
Oh man.
See, that Bullet would be my favorite movie if he was in it.
Yeah. Especially if it kept turning to the camera with that smile. Yeah. See, look, he was actually in it, though. See down here at the very bottom?
Yeah.
Norman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was.
Just not the lead character.
Just not that guy.
Now, if he could have played Mr. Roper in some of these ones that we've seen, that would be classic. If you could just interject him into it. We have to get Slappy on that.
Shoot, what was I going to ask? Oh, I'll have to ask you this afterwards, Jeff. I was just looking at the StreamYard stuff. So, because I was looking at the core thing. The core thing looks like it stays the same.
I don't have an option for that.
You don't?
Nope. My option is my option is the core plan, which is $431.88 a year. And if I click change plan, I can do an even more expensive one that's even twice that much. Those are my 2 options. I know Cyrus he ran into something different himself. I don't know how they determine who gets what, but I'm not getting that.
Huh. because
I have to do a marathon, charity marathon for you. Raise the couple
Well, what I'll do is
$1,000.
I'm going to cancel it, and I'm going to see if they come back with any.
they will. You know that they will.
Because I canceled it once before. I canceled after the first year, and they came back. Well, how about $96 instead of like $240? I said, well, that sounds a lot better.
Well, Pete,
So that's why
you
I've been
got
on,
your
like, the last
grandfather
three.
in, aren't you?
I did, and that they
Pete is, yes.
they started by kicking me up to the higher plan, charged me 1 month at $45 a month. And when I put in the complaint, they sent me just a PFO. No, our plans are going up, and you can do this and you can do that. And I wrote back. I said, no, that's not what I asked for. I said this. And the next note back was, oh, we've looked at your situation, and yes, you are signed up for $10 a month for life. So you have it for $10 a month from now on. And you get to take advantage of all upgrades too. So that was 1080p and all this other stuff. So I was lucky, you know.
Yeah.
That I signed up.
You know, it really just comes down to asking or insisting.
Yeah, I wasn't snotty, but I was matter of fact. Well, like,
Right.
I signed up for this for a lifetime deal. Here's your advertisement where it said it was for a lifetime deal. I know the company's changed hands, but as far as I'm concerned, like, really, you should be giving me a lifetime deal.
The name is the same, and I paid for it.
I don't blame you on that.
2 emails, they come back and basically said, yep, you're right. And that was it. And
You're like,
I
I know.
checked my bill a couple times because I'm not very good to be like, I'll go ahead and check my invoices and stuff. And I haven't in probably 3 or 4 months, but they had been doing well through to Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why it would change at this point, you know?
Right.
I bet we see a lot of YouTubers dropping StreamYard this year.
Yeah.
It's just too expensive.
People like us who just do it for fun, right?
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
there again, if you just, you know, if you just put it to them, then they'll change it.
Yeah, because it's not like you're making a crap load of money off this thing.
Right.
we're not making any money off, you know,
Yeah. I mean,
Even with the ad revenue, Pete, you're not making a lot of money.
oh God, no. That's a real misconception, right? Like,
yeah.
that's a real misconception. That
I mean, it's really kind of like it's like
I had it till I did it, right? I thought, oh, they must be made. Oh, okay, you could buy games, pay for your games by doing it. No, no.
Yeah, that's I forget who I was watching, and they went over their ad revenue, and I was like, "That's it." I'm like, Jesus, that you would think they would get, because they make a big deal out of it. So you're thinking, geez, they're really paying back to streamers, making it good for them for doing this. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, no wonder.
Those guys making, or that have like hundreds of thousands of subs, like RG85. I'm sure he's making.
They're making good money.
Yeah. Plus
Right.
he has sponsorships. He does that quite a bit, where someone will say, I'll give you this much money if you show my game and talk about how great it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be like a Mr. Beast.
Yeah, and I hope to hit 4,800 tonight subs, and I hit 1 million views this sometime today too. So that was cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you're friggin' close. You guys are close.
I mean, who knew that
865,000 views, I think.
Who knew that me and Jeff being on your show would do that?
I know. It's just friggin'
John, what's going on?
Hey, John.
So that's you're going to have that 24-hour marathon when you get this milestone.
Yep.
Jeff, or
since
you didn't do it last time.
views, yeah.
I should do that on my 100th show.
I told
Luke in July.
After he bought Freewheeling Games, he bought that company Freewheeling. We only have 2 games. They got the FW Toolkit, which is a software thing for your television, and Desert Bus. I said, well, now I'll have to do a Desert Bus stream.
Yeah, I was going to say that Gen X grown up. I've been watching a lot more of him. He has a pretty good show. I enjoy that show.
He's got a great channel. Yeah, he's really good at what he does. Yeah, if you like,
I wish I would have known about it before.
Yeah, John's a good guy too.
Yeah, he has a pretty good show.
Go sub the Gen X grown up. That's right. Coco's
It
bringing
probably is
those.
fastback. Yep. I must have just turned the camera right over and just do that.
Lance, that channel makes money like that guy that dresses from the 1920s and makes
Yeah.
videos of him eating. If only I had a picture of him. Oh, wait, there we go.
Hold it.
Oh, that's was it the report of the week?
Report of the week or review bra.
Yeah.
He goes by many names.
Yeah, I watch his whenever one of his reviews.
Oh,
come
I
up.
am. Yeah.
I like him. CC Mental does not. She
Well,
doesn't like even being on the TV screen.
he's such an odd person. And then he has this on the side, he likes to do radio and like old school radio. So you go and there's some kind of channel he has and you can listen to it. And
he's got his own podcast.
Yeah, it's something else. Oh, Gen X grown up told me not to watch Gen X grown up because he's a poser.
I'm supposed to be getting my Space Invaders watch this month. It was pushed back from like November, December.
What? You got a Space Invader watch?
Yeah, I did a Kickstarter for Space Invaders watch. It's supposed to be coming out.
Does it play it?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just
Man, them watches been bumming me out because you can't play none of them. They just have stuff on them.
I think it was the new Atari ones that look kind of like the Space Invader ones. Look like the same guys doing it. I think those might play it, don't they?
Well, I know the asteroid does, and it just has the ship is the seconds, and it has the different asteroids for the hour and the minute.
I had an asteroids watch I got like 20 years ago, and it just showed the face just showed asteroids in action, but you couldn't play it. And it became annoying to even wear because everyone, that's the first question. Does it really play it? Like, no, it doesn't play it.
Well, I mean, when you think about it anyways, it's like, do you really want to, especially at my age, I don't want to try to play something on my hand, on my wrist.
Yeah.
It's going to be too small for me to see.
Gen X grown-ups been watching Beard Meets Food lately. They're friends with Randy Santel and Cantina Eats Kilos. I watch those two all the time.
I watch.
Oh, yeah. I watch that.
Mukbang.
Yeah, I watch that. And what's the beard guy? You ever watched him?
Beard Meets Food?
Yeah, Beard Meets Food. Yeah.
Did anyone get the Atari decanter set? I was tempted to until I saw the price, and I was like, I'll pass.
Yeah, it looks cool, but yeah, it's pricey. Oh, that's the thing is, do you guys ever watch Extreme Winter Camping? Any of you? That's my thing.
Was that a YouTube channel?
Yeah, there's a few of them. I watch Outdoor Boys is one of it's actually that one's kind of a big channel, but the guy takes his family out or he goes by himself and he puts he'll go out there with no tent, no nothing out in the bitter cold and, and survive out there. And I'm like, one of my friends was like, well, why are you watching it? And I said, well, in case I ever decided, he goes, you're not going to go out and do none of that crap. You're crazy. I said, well, probably not. But I said, I'll be ready if it ever happens. I said, I'll be able to.
Going outdoors is the big one that's been so hot the last month, and started watching it. Connor found it last time he was home. Actually, started showing up. I sat there and watched like 6 episodes of it. SKOTE Outdoors, and the latest thing he does, he bought a house on an island up in northern Newfoundland, sight unseen, and went out there in the spring and started fixing it. Stayed there for the winter, and now his girlfriend's there, and they're putting things together, and it's pretty impressive. But he's a lot of videos where he went out took a mining claim on a area and went out, and with this one he took a power saw with him and he built a log cabin on the site out in the middle of nowhere, and it's really, really interesting. Really well done. And
well, it sounds familiar.
Saw and an axe, built himself a friggin' shelter in the middle of the woods. He was like 40 some days in the middle of the woods in the snow getting it shelter.
There's a guy, the Jay Legear. It looks like that's a guy I've been watching. He's up in the Northwest Territories, up by a lake.
Yeah, Great Slave Lake.
Yeah, he's got a cap. He has a cabin. He has a hot tent, and he has a like a canvas tent.
Yeah,
and he he just retired because he's got pretty good reviews on his members on his channel, and he decided to just
Thanks,
go ahead
John.
and do that all the time, so. But yeah, that's I forgot to mention to you that I watch him because he's up there in Canada. I wanted to see if you knew him, Pete.
Oh yeah, right over there he is now. But
like, damn, Pete's got to know that guy.
You have to look at this like who's holding the camera, Lance just said, which is so true, right? But it's just amazing. He actually talks about how he plans everything and sets things up.
Oh yeah,
all of his clips and stuff, and it's really, he's got drones. He talks about how he has the solar panels and stuff for uploading. It's all Starlink because you can be anywhere in the world, and do it. And but he's out in the middle of nowhere.
It's unbelievable how these guys film this stuff. Like just simple things, like Tim Lee, the guy who just eats at buffets all the time, but he'll have like at least 2 cameras set up. I'm like, how do you do that? Then putting it together, I'm like, my God, does it take like a week to edit this out or even longer?
Well, so one guy said he has like 10 cameras.
I don't know if you can see, but that's the basic what the Space Invaders things will look like. There's several different ones, different colors. They're pretty obnoxious looking, but I like that. I was just saying on March 12th, I got an email, my last one, saying, good news, the final production samples have been sent to their partner for final approval. So that was March 12th. There's no way this is coming out in March. This looks like a late April, maybe, if I'm lucky.
Like the analog 3D.
That's right. You should get it in July, Torso.
Well, that's July 2025 is what they're saying now, but I'm like, it's analog. Who in hell knows? I mean, and then, and then now I showed you, what was it? The ones that did the Chrome Game Boy thing is
the chromatic.
Yeah, the chromatic. They're supposed to be bringing out a Nintendo 64 clone. So
I will be interested in that.
Yeah, I'd like to see what they do with it. Just overall with build quality too. They do a hell of a job on. They had that Game Boy has sapphire glass and all that.
It's going to be expensive. I bet, like really expensive.
Yeah, and that's but that Lucky, he has the money to do this crap. So.
All right, well, we're past our time. Let's sign off. Thanks for watching, everyone. Real quick before we go, since Pete sent it over to me.
No.
Here, if you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
Best thing ever.
That's beautiful. Yeah, you can't beat that.
That's a classic.
Oh, that reminds me. Friday, I'll be doing the tournament from 8 to 10 Central, Mario Kart tournament. So whoever wants to join, there's plenty of room. There's 12 spots. Lots of room.
Yeah, I'd like to do that this week.
And you can come in, drop out. Doesn't matter. Spend the whole time.
Yeah.
Who won last time?
You gonna be there, Pete?
I don't know. All depends on what we're doing. Last weekend, nobody's home. Mama C's coming home tomorrow night. So,
okay.
Maybe Pete will be playing with Mama C.
I was going to say maybe.
Maybe.
She has her own Nintendo account.
That's true.
Mama C may throw down and take first place.
There you go.
All right, guys. That's it. We're out of here.
See you guys later.
All right.
Bye,
guys.